Okay, so I have my images ready. What I would like to do is place some text. I'm actually going to start with my title over here and do some title treatment. So I'm going to choose a title. Okay, I'm just going to type that in. So this is my text box. That's going to be different than my image box right here. So you want to make sure that when you create a box right here, it should be a text box. We're going to select the text and we're going to enlarge it. So I want to make sure that my type palette is out. And in order to do that, I'll do Command T. All right. Or you can go into Window and search Character. And it'll show you which areas you can find in the help menu. Type character, and then you will have your type palette out. Okay, so you can manually make this larger or smaller just going into the size option here. Or you can do it by your keyboard. So you can do Shift Command and greater than, and that's where your period is. You have like a greater than sign, so Shift Command greater than. Shift Command less than, which is where the comma is, makes it smaller. Okay, so we're going to stick to that. And you can also change your type formatting here. So let's say you want to do another type of font, you can. I'm going to select Latino. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Or if I'm not happy with that, I can still keep going. And here you can actually preview what your title can look like at a much smaller scale. So that's also another way you can try out different fonts and see what they look like. So I'm going to stick to Palatino, and then in here you can see whether or not you want bold, italic, or bold, italic. I'll just stick to regular for now. Okay, and then I'm going to make this slightly smaller. And then I'm going to bring this down a little bit closer to the image, like so. And if I want to change the color of the text, I simply select the text, and then I want to go into my color palette. So whenever in doubt, you just click the help option and you just type in, and you want to select color, and you will find exactly where you want your color options to be. So we need to make sure we're working in CMYK, and in here you can color pick what kinds of hues you want. So I want to go with almost like a reddish brown. Okay, so that's the color that works for me. And then I want to actually do more of a title treatment. So I'll put another text box that says discover the hidden gem of. Right, just make this a tad bigger. I might want to play around with it being all caps, so I'll go back into my font palette here, character, and go into all caps. So this makes this all capitals. And then I want to play around with the spacing in between the letter forms, so the kerning. So this is where I can. Now notice that a red box popped up with a plus sign. That means that the text goes over the text box. So what I would do is either make this wider or make the text smaller. So I want to select this again, and then Shift Command less than makes it smaller, and I can still play around with the kerning a little bit, and this might work out like so. So I have some kind of a title treatment going on. Alright, so you might need to try it out in different weights for it to work out. But as you can see, this is where you can play around with your fonts and experiment with size, color, weight, placement. So it's pretty much dependent on the types of things you want to do with your type and your titles. Okay. So it looks like I want to have a little bit more spacing. Let's see what this looks like. I think I can go more. So the least like the max I can go is to 200. I can type it in and go 500. So that looks better. So now I've spanned the smaller title to the span of the A through the S, just to kind of bring a little bit more symmetry to my layout, and I want to make sure that I'm not cropping any, just like cells, any letter forms. So that might be too big, so I might need to scale this down. So this is in front of the smaller title. I want to make sure I hit Control. I want to send this back. I want to go Arrange and Send to Back. I want to make sure this guy is in the front. So I might need to decrease. I might need to find a happy medium for my other space. So I think that works well. I like that. Okay. So this is my title treatment, like so. And then I'm going to work with the rest of the text in here. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll select the text box, and let's say I have an article or something I want to pull from. You can definitely bring that in if you just simply go into File, Place, and you'll find, just like you did with images, you can find a Word document and you can place the text in there. But what I want to do is, just because this is a demo, I would like to go into Type and just fill with placeholder text, and this is what will happen when I fill with placeholder text. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Type and fill with placeholder text. Now notice there aren't any columns or anything, so I want to fix that. So to do that, I want to make sure this is selected, and I want to go into, let's see, I want to go to an area where I can find my columns. Okay, so what I'm going to do is look for my paragraphs. Let's see if they're in here. Okay, so I'm going to go into the next video and go more into detail as to how you can do 3 columns and 2 columns. All right,